Hey guys, happy February, happy snow day to most of you. Even here in Kentucky, we got a little bit of snow today. And we are here tonight to go over our February training plan. This is my training plan that I put together for me based on what I thought my body really needed for the month of February. And then I kind of reverse engineered the monthly plan and then the individual exercises. I put a whole explanation about how to use this training plan in the Facebook group. So if you need to go back and look at that, go ahead and do so. I also put the PDF so you can download your own blank training plan. Remember that having a plan like this is what's going to really help you to age strong. And I know so many of you are already doing great exercise programs that you love, and maybe you're involved with running or yoga or fitness classes or walking or stretching or whatever. And I love that. And I want you to keep doing that. But remember that without a dedicated plan, all you're doing is exercising. Now, don't mistake that I think exercise is great, but if you have definite goals, if you have ambitious goals, if you want to age really well, and if you want to age to be as strong and as independent and as adventurous and as elegant and as balanced and as injury free as possible, that takes an actual plan. You can't just keep doing what you like. You have to do what your body needs. I've been trying to think all day of a good analogy for that. And the best one I could come up with was, remember how when we were in our teens and 20s and we could use whatever we wanted to on our face, and we could just use a bar soap on our skin, and we could go out and put whatever moisturizer we had laying around. And then as we age, that stuff doesn't work anymore. We have to be more diligent with all the different layers, and especially the sunscreen. So if you keep telling me that you don't want to get sunburned anymore, and I say to you, well, then you better use sunscreen, and you keep saying to me, no, 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 but I really like the soap that I've always been using, we're not going to get anywhere. So if you keep telling me that you want to feel differently, or you want to move differently, or if you want to perform differently, we have to do something different. And I really, really, really believe that that requires an actual plan that's based on science and is addressing everything that you want for your body. So tonight, I'm going to share with you what I want for my body for the month of February, and that is to continue building muscle. But now I also have a new goal of trying to reduce my waistline. Still a little bit thick through the middle from the holidays. So we're going to go through the workout that I designed for me. You can see this in the comments when we're done. I'll post the workout so you have my template. If you want to copy that, that's totally okay. But remember, this might not be exactly right for you, and that's okay. You might need something completely different from me. You might not be the same, fitness background or fitness goals as me, and that is totally okay. The good thing about a plan like this is this can be adapted to whatever it is that your body needs. Maybe it's weight loss, maybe it's more energy, maybe it's less aches and pains, maybe you have a specific sport or event that you're training for. So all of that works, but it has to be planned. It can't just be the same stuff that you always did or just because I like it, okay? So what we're gonna do is 6 new posture exercises, and then I'm gonna take you through my 6 new strength training exercises, and we'll do 1 round of posture and 2 rounds of strength, and you are about to watch me get really out of breath and very sweaty, and that's always fun for you guys, I know. So let's get started. I'm gonna set my stopwatch here. I like to use the timer so that I don't have to count, and I've got this already queued up. It's going to allow us a 45-second work and 15-second rest interval, and here we go. So my first exercise is a plantar fascia stretch. I'm going to sit on the edge of the chair, cross my foot over my knee, and then interlace my fingers with my toes, and I'm going to just take my ankle in nice big circles like this. And so what I'm getting here as a warm-up in this posture exercise is an awesome stretch in my right hip and an awesome mobility in my ankle, and I'm also stretching out those toes, reminding them that they are meant to be spread apart. There are muscles that allow that, And then I'm also kind of mobilizing the bones of my foot. Remember, there are 26 bones in the foot and ankle, and they are meant to be very mobile. There's my timer telling me that 45 seconds is over. So I'm going to just take a 15-second break here and get ready to start again. So these posture exercises are not just about posture. They are about warming us up and getting us ready for exercise. If you skip these, you might get hurt, or you might not have a very effective workout because you're probably bringing a body to the workout that's still in work mode or still in this is all the stuff I did today mode. It is definitely not thinking about your body. It's definitely not connected to some of those big muscles that we're supposed to be using. So the warm-up, the posture exercises are not just warming up your temperature, they're warming up that brain-body connection, so don't skip it. All right, so that was both feet on the plantar fascia stretch. Now I'm going to go to the wall with my golfer's grip, and that's this hand position. And I'm going to stand with my heels, my butt, my shoulders, and my head on the wall, and I'm going to bring my elbows together and then bring them back to the wall. And ideally, they will both hit the wall at exactly the same time. A lot of us have been sitting all day, and a lot of us have leaned into our work, and our shoulders and our head might be a little droopy. So this is pulling all of that back, and I can feel the shoulder blades moving east and west against the wall, and that feels so good, and it's warming up the scapular muscles, and it's reminding our upper back of its proper position, and I'm also getting a nice vertical load from my ears, shoulders, hips, and heels. So a lot of good stuff happening here. It doesn't look like much, but it is getting my brain connected to my body. Then I'm going to stay here with my feet directly under my hips, my toes pointed straight ahead. My heels, my buns, and my arms and the back of my head are all on the wall. And now I'm going to do windmills. So, oh my gosh, that feels so good to move side to side this way. And I like to imagine here that my arms have a shish kebab through them. So I'm moving them. Actually, I'm not moving my arms. I'm just bending at the waist. And I can go pretty far because I practice this one a lot. It feels so good. If your windmills are smaller than mine, that's totally okay. What I don't want you to do is move your hips. So notice that my buns are pinned to the wall and my legs are a nice strong foundation. So I'm starting to actively squeeze my buns and squeeze my thighs as I bend into the spine, just gently allowing my body to pull back and unwind a little bit at the same time. Then I'm going to go to sitting wall arm glide. So I'm still at the wall. My butt and my shoulders and my head and my arms are all on the wall. Quads are tight, ankles are flexed back, and I'm going to make a snow angel. And this is a great way, you guys, to warm up the upper back. If you have been slumping over your work, or if you feel a little rotated in your upper back, this is such a great way. Now my shoulder blades are fanning this way. They're kind of rotating as they go up, and that's a second, one of the second movements available to us in those shoulder blades. And if we don't warm them up, we're probably going to injure our shoulder as we start this workout. So I love how this one feels. Try to relax the neck, and we're sneaking in, because we're in this position, we're sneaking in a little bit of hamstring stretch there. Rest. All right, and then I'm going to quickly go to the floor for my active cobra wishbone, and this one you'll recognize from last month. I love this one, and for all you sitters out there, you should be doing this one too. So I'm in cobra, and my knees are far apart, and my feet are just pressing together, as though I have a juicy sponge between my feet, and I'm squeezing all the water out of it. Now my arms are pressing, my forearms are pressing into the floor. I'm looking straight ahead, and this feels totally safe for me. If it doesn't feel safe for you, you can go down like this, or you can skip it all together and pick a different posture exercise. But I do want you to do 6 posture exercises every time before you do your strength training, before you do your forest bath, before you do your high intensity interval training, before you do whatever other exercise program you're doing, I always want you to do 6 posture exercises. These are the 6 that I'm doing this month, and I picked them kind of based on how my body's feeling and kind of based on what my exercise is and what I need to be warmed up for. So here's my last one. I'm on all fours, hands under shoulders, knees under hips, and I'm going to reach real long here. I'm not trying to reach high. I'm trying to reach real long and get all the extension I have, all the reach, fingers out, heel back that I possibly can. And this is warming up my glutes. I'm going to squeeze that butt as I raise it, and I'm going to look down. No stress at all in the neck, and no stress at all in the back. Higher is not better here. Longer is better. So if you're feeling this in your lower back, you're probably reaching too high. Now on your posture day, you would repeat those 6 again, and maybe even a third time. But today we're just going to do them once because we have to get ready for strength training. So during my rest, I'm going to grab my kettlebell and get started. Now we begin our strength training exercises. I'm doing a long sitting kettlebell press. My legs are engaged, so my ankles are flexed, my quadriceps are flexed, and I'm taking this kettlebell straight up and then I'm pulling it down. Press straight up and pulling it down. And by doing 45 seconds here, it allows me some variations. So maybe I'm going to just go at kind of a moderate pace here so that I can talk. Maybe some days I'll want to do a little bit of a brisker pace to get more power, or maybe some days I'll go super slow to get more of that slow motion eccentric load, which is great for tearing down muscle, which then builds it up. Okay, so then I'm going to grab my band. I'm going to start this first set with a 1/2 inch super band. And I'm going to step on both lengths and use the little edges there, the little ends like handles. And I'm down in this hinge position with my butt way back and my back nice and straight. And then you can see how I'm kind of squeezing the lemon between my shoulder blades. What you see is my hands and elbows tugging on the band, but the real work is here in my hips to hold me up, and there in my middle back to squeeze that lemon. 45 seconds, we can do whatever pace we want. And if this is too easy for you, you could do a 1-inch band, which I have next to me, and I might show you on the next round. Or maybe you have dumbbells in your hands if you don't have a band like this. So that's my pulling exercise. That was my bent over row. Then for my squat exercise, I'm going to do an air bench or a wall sit. This is my squat. So my feet are pointed straight ahead. My femurs are parallel to each other. My knees are bent to about 100 degrees. Now, my lower back is flat against the wall. So low back, shoulders, and head all on the wall. Screaming into my quads. If this hurts your knees, it's not the right exercise for you. Pick something different for the squat exercise, but don't omit the squat. Find a way, find a variation that allows hips, knees, and ankles to all be bending. This is a mandatory fundamental exercise. You cannot skip it, because otherwise when you need to squat in your real life, you're not going to be able to do it and you're going to hurt yourself. Okay, then for our hinge, I'm going to use the 1-inch band. I'm going to hold it like that, and that creates 2 loops. I'm going to put my feet through those loops, and then put the band up around my thighs like this, and now I'm going to bridge. So the big deal on the bridge is the buns. I don't want you to try to come up higher. I want you to come up stronger. This is the power, okay? What you see is my pelvis coming up and down, but the work has to be here in the glutes, maybe a little bit in the hamstrings, certainly no stress in the neck or the spine down here. So we're just gonna find that range and find that pace where you feel those glutes lighting up. You guys, strong glutes, definitely one of the fountains of youth. If you have strong hips and glutes, you're going to be able to walk better, climb stairs better, get in and out of a car better. Everything's going to be easier. Okay, then for my lunge, this is a cross connect lunge. My right elbow is coming down here to my left knee, and then I'm going to switch and go right back again. And I'm going to go super slow here. My abs are working super hard so that I don't fall over. And I'm just going opposite elbow, opposite knee, super slow. My left leg is the one I'm standing on, and it is getting a heck of a workout. If you think balance is something you need to work on, this or a variation of this is going to be so important for you. If you are a runner, this is going to be so important for you because in running, a lot of times you're on one leg, right?
Rest.
If you're a hiker, that's going to be super important for you. Now we're going to just switch sides, same exercise, but switch sides. If you have some imbalances, if you have one bad knee or one bad hip, doing single leg works like this is so important. And sometimes people say, well, geez, Laura, there's nothing here for my core. I have kind of built in core stability to a lot of these exercises. And if you're doing this right and you're doing it really slow, you are going to get an awesome core workout here. We don't always have to do an obvious core exercise. Sometimes we are just kind of building it in or sneaking it in with this other stuff. Whew, I'm getting a little bit tired on that side. All right, so that's my lunge. It's called a cross connect lunge. And then speaking of core, my last one is for my carry. I'm going to carry this kettlebell right up over my chest. My knees are bent and my lower back is relaxed. And I'm going to extend one leg to the floor and pull it up. Now, as I extend the other leg, I am not going to rock my pelvis. My abs are totally tight and my pelvis is not moving. If you start to feel this in your lower back, this exercise is not for you. You just might not be ready for that. You might just want to stay here and do kind of an isometric dead bug. I'm going to go ahead and keep doing, these are called inverted mountain climbers, because if you think about it, I'm just doing a mountain climber on my back instead of in push-up position. All right, so that was one round. Now, depending on how much time you have, you could certainly feel free to do a third round of these. Tonight, we're going to do just two.
Exercise.
So my quads are engaged. I'm back to my push. This is my pushing exercise. It's called the long sitting kettlebell press. Maybe you have some dumbbells. Maybe you don't have anything. And maybe you're just going to practice sitting with your legs straight and your torso erect. Speaking of core, my abs and the muscles of my spinal erectors are working so hard right now at keeping me vertical here in my upper body. So yeah, this is a tricep and shoulder exercise, but it's also definitely a core and even a little bit of quad isometric exercise. All right, oh, I stopped a little short there. Just a quick heart rate check here. My heart rate's up to 105. I'm now on my band bent over rows now. So I have my 1-inch band now, 1 inch in thickness.
Exercise.
I'm gonna step on just one. I'm reaching way down here like I'm pulling up my socks, and then I'm gonna row. This is my pull. This is called a band bent over row. So if you do these exercises like we are now in a circuit fashion with a lot of work and just a little rest, you'll get your heart rate up probably as much as or higher than you would on a treadmill or on an elliptical. So another thing people always say is, oh, what about my cardio? This is it, people. This is your cardio. And again, I'm keeping this at 20 minutes because that's kind of what most of us have time for. But if you wanted to do additional sets, by all means, go right ahead. I think the nice thing about 20 minutes is, even if it's been a long day, you can squeeze in enough motivation to do a 20-minute workout.
Exercise.
And look at all the exercise we're getting done. Look at all the benefit we're getting. We're not just getting our heart rate up, you guys. We are getting stronger. We're building so much muscle. Well, we're actually tearing down a bunch of muscle. And when we sleep tonight and when we refuel with good food tomorrow, that's going to build more muscle than we had this morning. And that is such an amazing thing and so important to the aging process, you guys. It's great to want to be thin. It's great to want to have no knee pain. But if you don't work on your strength training, you are losing such a significant amount of muscle mass every year as you age. That's everybody out there over the age of 40.
Rest.
So that's a lot of us. And the more muscle mass you lose, the slower your metabolism, the more likely it is that you become frail and weak, and you lose your independence, and you lose your mobility, and you lose the ability to really be who you are. So I just feel like strength training is such a very important part of the aging process. And the only way to get it, you guys, is with a program like this where you are doing the fundamental exercises. This is my hinge. Okay, so there are 6 different fundamental movements that need to be part of a good strength training program. Most of the time, the exercise classes that you're taking are not dedicated to these 6 fundamentals. They certainly have other benefits, but unless you are tearing down a bunch of muscle with these 6 fundamental movements, and you're using as much weight and resistance as you possibly can manage, you're just exercising. Exercising is good, but if you really want to get stronger, you have to use a program something like this. Now, there are other really good strength training programs. This is not the only one, obviously. But the reason that I like this for me now is because it's only 20 minutes. So I'm able to do it 3 days a week. Instead of my old routine, which was 1 hour, I was only doing it 1 time a week because I was so tired from it. And I didn't always have a full hour. So I love this 20-minute. We're in, we're out, we're getting it done, and we're making progress just 1 month at a time. If you don't like the progress that you made, the good news is we can always change it next month. Let's see, I forgot which side I was on. All right, here we go.
Exercise.
So 1 month is about the time that it takes for your body to respond to this program. So please get your program fleshed out this week. If you need help, just ask. I'd be happy to get on the phone with you. It'll just take 15 minutes. Just send me a message or comment below that you'd like some help. Let's get a really solid program fleshed out this week, if not tonight, so that you have something to really stick to for the entire month. And then because you'll be measuring your progress, you'll know if it's working for you or not. And then we can always switch it up next month. All right, so last one. This is my carry. Remember, the point of a carry exercise is to work on your grip strength and your core stability.
Exercise.
So if we were at the gym, we might be carrying some kettlebells or some dumbbells in a suitcase carry or a farmer carry or a bottoms up kettlebell carry or any variation of those. I'm not at the gym, I'm at my house, and I don't have the big heavy weights that I used to have at the gym. So I'm doing my carry and working on my grip strength with this goblet hold on the kettlebell, and then I'm working my core with these inverted mountain climbers. Your carry might be something different. You can look back at all the videos I did during the 5-day challenge and get some ideas there. All right, guys, that was 2 rounds. We are at 6:55, 5 minutes of talking and a 20-minute workout.
Exercise.
And
Workout reset.
we are all set. All right, again, I would love to know what questions you have, how I can help you, and how we can get your February plan set up so that it's just right for you. I'll see you soon. Bye.